All right, Ableton Advanced community, get ready to blow your minds with this one. This one is a super cool instrument. I opened it up and threw it over. I've played with it once before, but now that I'm presenting it, I went and read about it, and Pulsar trained synthesizer. I don't know why that didn't just really like throw me off when I first used it, because this thing is interesting to see. And I can tell you right now, honestly, that I don't understand it enough to probably fully represent this in the video, but I can get you pointed in the right direction and kind of understanding it and being able to use it. I can't tell you exactly what's going on, but I mean, I feel like I understand the UI sort of enough to get my way around it and kind of what's going on and how to manipulate this instrument. But I definitely know that I'm missing some key pieces of knowledge in here. But without further ado, let's go ahead and read about what this is and see if we can wrap our heads around it together, folks, okay? Pulsar synthesis is a method of electronic music synthesis based on the generation of trains of sonic particles. So PS can produce either rhythmic or tones as it crisscrosses perceptual time spans. The basic method generates sounds similar to vintage electronic music sonorities with several important enhancements. The advanced method combines multiple pulsar trains with convolution with sampled sounds. So it combines multiple pulsar trains and convolution with sample sounds and convolution. So I don't know. It seems like it's like a weird granular. Is that how I'm seeing it? I mean, that's how I'm kind of like taking this. Is that it's taking like some pieces and it's all putting these things together and to form sort of either like way out there sounds or sounds that we've heard before, except for they have a lot more dynamics. With that being said, feel free to help explain this a little bit better or send us a different link. I mean, on the surface search, I mean, I didn't dig super deep, not yet anyway, but on a surface search, you don't get a lot of information on this. Now, this was emulated off of another instrument, and I read that instrument's description, and I kind of figured out what I was doing here with like, well, let's talk about the UI here, and I'll show you what I've figured out, and then hopefully we can kind of get some understanding of this instrument together, and maybe somebody can join in on the comments and really point us in the right direction, and we can all learn together. So oscillator 1, we can see over here, okay, so at the very top over here we have our presets, file, unlock. It looks like you can lock everything. Not, you know, anyway, I haven't messed with that, but I'm down to the next thing, the engines. So oscillator 1, 2, 3, 4 down here. Now each one of these has 2 selection sources. So this is where I'm seeing like here's their selection source, and then there's a shift and a width, and then these 2 thingies seem like they're somehow kind of pulling and mixing pieces all over the place. Maybe they're like, maybe it's like a width thing. It's like way out here on the left and right, and there's like thousands of these things going on at once, maybe. And the algorithm, that's what it's doing. Somebody correct me on that. If not, that's my weird interpretation of what's happening. Let's play some notes. Now you can see I just had the oscillator 1 on. This is the first look no filter is what it says. So let's play with the filter a little bit here. Oh, there is no filter. There's nothing on. So here everything's off. We have a delay on the first node. Okay, let's talk about what's happening here. I keep getting ahead of myself. We have our oscillators here, which go right into. You can see the little arrow here. It goes into our filter. That arrow goes into our volume envelope, which goes into our effects. And then we have these little 4 bays down here. And you can see bay 1 has some delay on it. It's not turned on. We have no effects in bin 2, none in 3. So from here we have our bin. And this goes down into this. And then some verb. And then we're on our way out. And that's the end of the signal chain. So that's pretty damn cool. very weird and very sonically rich what's going on. And I'm going to show you what I've kind of learned here between these two windows here, and like the width and the shift. We're just going to have to play together. That's as far as I've gotten before I've made the video. I've read around a little bit. So we're going to bring the shift up. Okay, so maybe it's the width that goes in between the two sounds. So let's take the width all the way down this way and play with one of these. See, maybe I'm wrong, but this is, I know that this has something to do with getting those dynamics to sound super cool. And that's just one. We only have one on right now, so let's turn on number 2. Yeah, I mean, very rich, very rich. It has a panic button down at the bottom. You know, anything with a panic button has got to be cool. I've seen them before. It's not my first panic button, but you know, it doesn't usually come standard on a VST. That's for sure. That's your first sign. Okay. So yeah, down here as well too. So you can see, like, you know, with different. So now that I just hit the preset over to the right, I'm on feel the width, and now you can see over here, and I'm not really quite sure how do we switch it here? Effects, okay, modulate, oh, there we go. Okay, so there you go. I just learned something. So we can switch this over. So this is a tab going into effects and then modulation, because here's your matrix, and so we have 3 LFOs to topple off on the whole thing here at the end, and then a matrix. So we can pick sources from here's your source list right there. It's a pretty standard simple list to choose from, and then we can send these to our targets, which is another pretty standard simple basic selection there. So yeah, there's a whole lot of going on here, and the UI is not too shabby for something that seems old, you know, older anyway. These guys always blow my mind, and yeah, way cool on this. I mean, it sounds like something you've heard before, but that is that's a really rich tone. I'm you know, I'm at loss of words, and this is definitely more richer than most sounds. I mean, just really rich. That's rich. Yeah, so that's a really cool instrument, and you can see over there I kind of went over to that random and the pitch section there and started hitting the sparse, and I think that is kind of like kicking out these little granular pieces. It got like pretty weird there. And yeah, for some reason I seem to lost control of my mouse here. And this has happened to me twice on this instrument now, so there might be some kind of a weird issue. It could be on me too. You know how PC is. I just updated some graphics stuff, so you know it always works good until something starts working. But I didn't have this problem on any other device so far, so I'm thinking that it might be not just a coincidence. So yeah, we'll you know, not really a big of a deal because I usually use these things and I just kind of get my sounds out of them. But this thing's rich, super rich, and I suggest maybe checking this out and the rest of the stuff from these guys over there too as well. So once you go over to this site here and check these guys out, you're going to find a huge list of things that are just going to blow your mind. Super complicated, and the guys are brilliant over there. So not the last item from these guys that we will be talking about as we go down the list. So with that being said, hit that like and subscribe. I'll see you guys on the next video. We'll be talking about Razor Blade next from the same company. Bye.